Hello, my name is Onoma Scholar. I'm here to discuss a topic: effective communication in workplace. Here are the objectives. That's what we're to see. What is communication? Examine the barriers to effective communication. Components of communication. Purpose of communication. Importance of effective communication. Now we'll move to what is communication. Communication is the act of transferring information from one place to another through verbal, non-verbal, or written means. Effective communication is the ability and willing to send and receive message accurately. Communication can be sharing or exchanging of information and idea among individuals or groups, and all this can be done through verbal communication, which is a spoken word, non-verbal communication, facial expression, eye contact, and body language. Written communication is written message, letter, email, report, circular, memo, etc. We move to the next, which is examine barrier to effective communication. Noise is anything that hinders the authenticity of message. Language barrier, use of jargon, slangs, ambiguous words to the listeners or the listener doesn't understand. That using unfamiliar words to convey message affects communication. Physical barrier, closed door, distance affect the facial contact, body language, and the eye contact. Cultural barrier, ethnic, religious, and social difference also hinder effective communication. Technology barrier, when people are not given the right tools or right training on how to use the tools, it also affects communication. Psychological, emotional barrier, stress and anger could make it difficult to effective communication. Organizational barrier, that's lack of understanding of organizational structure and individual roles affect communication. That is where roles and positions are not clearly defined. It affects communication. Now we'll move to the components of communication. The components are the sender, that's the source, the message, the channel, the receiver, and the feedback. Here the sender, the source, the individual sending the message. That's the initiator of the message, the encoder. The message is the physical information the sender wants to encode. That is the thoughts, the idea of the sender. The channels, the medium to transmit the thoughts, the idea, or the message. That is where through it can be through text message, call, or mail. Receiver, individual receiving this message, that's the audience, the listeners. The feedback, this is where the receiver allows the sender that the message has been received. Now in this situation, in the feedback, the initial sender becomes the receiver, while the receiver becomes the sender. Now the next is the purpose of communication. That's the aim of the communication. The reason for the communication, it can be to inform, that's to give or impact knowledge, or to educate or enlighten people. Request, it can be to make an appeal, solicit, demand, or play. And the purpose can as well be to persuade, that's to induce, convince, influence or coerce people. And it can as well to acknowledge, to support or encourage one another. It can also be to ensure understanding, and it does to ensure that message conveyed was well understood or clearly understood. It can be to convey feeling, opinion, and ideas. And we move to the next, which is the importance of the effective communication. Communication is an essential component of organizational success at all levels. it improves productivity. That is, when positions and roles are well defined, employees find it easier to perform. It leads to job satisfaction. Yes, when employees are given opportunity to contribute their ideas, skills, and also participate in decision making in organization, they feel more happy, they feel important and belong. So we'll move to the next. It fosters team building and socialization. As employees consult one another, consider each other's opinion, discuss their progress and the progress of organization, it enhances their socialization and teamwork. It helps manager to carry out the managerial functions, that is guiding, directing, instructing, counseling, and controlling. All these are done through communication. So we'll come to the last but not the least. It is a lifeblood of organization, because through effective communication, organization's goal and objective are clearly stated. Ideas and information are accurately shared. Correction and instruction are properly given. And when all these are done through communication, and when they are done, it leads to organization growth. Thank you.